Yeah, then I will be starting now.
Sure.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the International Day of Education 2025 webinar series, hosted by the International Youth Alliance for Peace. As we all know, the United Nations General Assembly declared 24th January as the International Day of Education in celebration of the role of education in peace and development. Therefore, as an initiative of IYAP, from 18 January to 29 January, we bring you powerful conversations on how education is shaping a peaceful and inclusive future. My name is Inoka Koritoaku, and I'm honored to be your moderator for this session today. Education is not merely a tool for personal growth, but a transformative force that dismantles stereotypes and paves the way for equitable opportunities across generations. By empowering women and girls, we foster inclusive societies and resilient communities. We are so delighted to have a distinguished lineup of speakers with us throughout this webinar series, including our renowned thought leaders and inspiring youth change makers who will share their experiences, insights, and strategies for leveraging education as a catalyst for empowerment and equality. So, tonight we focus on the topic empowering women and girls through education, breaking stereotypes and inspiring generations. Before we begin, please note that the chat will remain closed during the discussion to ensure an uninterrupted learning experience, and it will reopen for the Q&A session. It is now my pleasure to introduce our speaker today, Miss Mashal Rehman, a passionate advocate for gender equality through education and a trailblazer in reshaping societal narratives. She is a financial inclusion lead for women at Just Cash and a dedicated advocate for women's empowerment. She works tirelessly to addressing the challenges women face, helping them achieve financial independence and confidence. Engaging with inspiring women daily, Ms. Rahman provides hope and practical solutions, creating a ripple effect that uplift families and communities. Driven by her passion and purpose, she is committed to breaking barriers and driving lasting change through her work. So, Ms. Rahman, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for this wonderful introduction. I'm really thankful to you. You have actually spoken really great words about me. But I would like to mention over here that alone I cannot actually do a lot of things. But with the help of the community and women like you, actually, I have been able to achieve a lot of things. So thank you so much for this. Um, about the topic, as I was saying this earlier as well, that this is something which needs to be talked about more and more, and the platforms like yours is actually a hope for a lot of women in Asian countries, even in developing world. So it's really very important for women to get education. um, Unfortunately, we are still at a stage where still, women, they are unable to get education, and even sometimes it happens that they cannot even go to universities to pursue higher educations due to certain societal norms, and even the burden which they have to go from the families as well. So as a person who got a chance to go to the university, as a person who got a chance to interact with people, I actually want to make sure that the women around me, they actually get full resources. They make sure that they achieve whatever they want to. And to be honest, when I started working with women, I've actually realized that how confident and how much resourceful and how talented these women are. It's just that they need a chance, they need certain guidance. And as an empowered woman, I feel like it is my duty and it is my responsibility to make sure that I am there for them in order to answer any questions they have, in order to make sure that you know their lives are becoming easier. So I have been working with a lot of different women in different fields, who are actually working, and with that they are doing their businesses as well. So they make candles, they make food, they crochet things, and they are selling those onto different platforms. So from there I actually realized that they just need certain push from women like us and from the society, and once we are there to help them, we are there to provide them opportunities, they can actually conquer the whole world. So this is how I have been working with them, and I urge each person, especially the male counterparts in our society, that become their support, be there for them. We have to make sure that as a male dominant society, we have to make sure that as a male, you have to make sure that you are supporting your wife, you are supporting your daughter, you are there to be their shoulder, be their support, so that they can go in the world and they can actually reach wherever they want to. So apart from that, if I feel like that there is a need that we develop programs. We actually talk about this topic on different platforms so that more and more people get encouraged, more and more, and there is a higher need that youngsters like us and even the other generations which are coming in, they actually start working towards this. Because as a woman, I feel like sometimes you get tired, sometimes you feel like I am doing so much, but still I'm unable to achieve what I want to. During those are the times when we need support, those are the times when we need a certain push from maybe another other female colleague or maybe another friend who we can talk to. So there is a really this is really important that we have some support system around us, and that support system can be in the form of any person. It can be your colleague, she can be your friend, she can be your mother even. So it's really important that you talk to those people, and then those people need to be there for you people. So I would love to take the questions as well. I would love that people ask as many questions as they want, so that we address most of the issues, pressing issues which women face due to certain hurdles or anything like that. So if we have questions, I think I'm ready to answer any of the questions if there are. um,
Uh, uh, I think for the time being, you can, explain about the topic and all for about some time. Then we will move on to the questions and answers.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah.
So, most of the time, what happens is that people say that empowerment is basically a buzzword, and most of the time, it has been used in wrong context as well. But empowerment, I believe, is something which comes from within. So, you need to make sure that you feel empowered in whatever you are doing. And first of all, the most important thing is that you need to make sure that whatever work you are doing, be it like you are selling something or you are working somewhere, you enjoy that work and you understand the impact you are creating. Secondly, education is not just like going to school or going to university. There are other avenues, as like you need to get wisdom, and even by sitting at home, even if you are reading something, if you are reading even a newspaper, if you are if you are watching something on television, and if it is increasing your knowledge and it helps you to talk to other people about it, that is a form of education as well. And as a woman, it's really important to actually explore different avenues. That, for example, if you are unable to go to school, you can start watching different shows, or you can start looking for books. So there was this movie which I watched some time ago as well, that there was this girl who couldn't go to the school, but she used to read and she used to go to the library, and at a very young age she developed this habit of reading, and when she started going to school, she was actually ahead of her time. So I think reading is also, which is a form of education, and it's even, I would suggest girls to read not just their course book but about other things as well, at it helps a lot. So education, going to school or going to university is just one form of getting education. Even if you are sitting with your elders, that is also where you are gaining wisdom. It's also a form of education. Sometimes what happens is that people who are not very literate, but they are doing their businesses, or they are involved in certain kind of things, they also actually teach you a lot of other things. So that is a form of education as well. And it's very important for males to understand that education is equally important for women as well, not just for the males. And as a society, if we want to grow, we want to make sure that women are also getting equal opportunities, so that when they are getting equal opportunities, only then as a nation we can succeed. And we can see that in the developed world, the women, they actually get most of the opportunities as men get. And we need to make sure that the same things happen in the developing world as well. um, and I'm really glad to see that in a region like Pakistan, we did have a female prime minister, Benazir Bhutto. She was the first female prime minister, and she got the opportunity. Let me check on my end. um, let me rejoin. Just give me a moment, okay?
A kind announcement to our participants. Please bear with us for a few seconds until our panelists join with us again.
I am not sure what is happening. Give me a moment. Can you now see me?
Yes, Ms. Rema.
Okay, just let me just put in the background as well, okay? Hi. So I think there is some issue with the background or something. So I think now, but people can at least see me. So
Uh,
yeah.
yes, Mr. Rahman. Now we will continue because there are, these kind of technical issues happens on and off, so it's quite understandable. So we will start again. Not to
Or
worry.
thank you much. Thank you. Yeah. So as I was talking before as well, that education is not just going to the school or university and getting higher education. There are still a lot of people in the world who have actually got a lot of degrees, but they actually do not have any wisdom. And when they talk, some people are always like, did he ever go to school, or why is he talking like that? So I believe that it's really very important that when you are gaining education, when you are going to school, when you are going to any university, it helps you to distinguish between right and wrong. It helps you to grow, it helps you to expand your horizon. Only then you can consider yourself empowered. Because what happens is that even if you have a lot of degrees, but you are not you are not able to distinguish between what is right and what is wrong, there is no use of that degree. Then if your education is not making you a better human being, if your education is not making you empathetic, then it means that you are lacking somewhere. So the most important part as a human, is really important to be able to understand what another person is going through. And as a woman, it that it's the most important thing, because as a woman, if you are not able to understand what another woman is going through, you won't be able to help that woman, you won't be able to emotionally connect with that woman. And that is the part where an educated woman, how an empowered woman can help another woman, is that first of all, you have to make sure that you keep yourself in that person's shoes, you understand her situation, and then you can take the necessary steps. Then you can understand that, oh, okay, she's going through this, what exactly she needs. And you need to take the baby steps. So first, what you can do is that, even if you live in a society where there are like girls who are unable to go to school due to societal norms, you can, and you belong to somewhere, you have position and you have power and you can take a decision for them, do that. Even if you are able to help one woman, just do it. Make sure that they start going to school, make sure that they get the wisdom they require in order to succeed in life. Because if once you will do it, then it's actually going to create a ripple effect. That woman is actually going to remember that there was this woman who helped me, and then she is also going to help another woman, so it's going to be a chain reaction. Then there are other women who are going to step up. So you can lead by example, you can set up an example as well. And then this is how we would be able to create an empowered society where women are also contributing in the same way that men are. I never say that men and women are equal. I always say that we need to create an equitable society. We need to there needs to be there is it's really important that we are actually creating um a society where women, they feel that they are at ease. We have to create ease for them. We have to make sure that, because women, they also have to look after their household, they have more responsibilities at home. As a father, as a husband, it's your responsibility that you share those responsibilities with them, and then they would be able to fly, they would be able to, they can get their dreams fulfilled. And please never ask a woman that, oh, okay, now you have got married, so now it's your responsibility to sacrifice your dream. No, it's not her responsibility. She is as human as you are. So help her achieve her goals, make her do things which she couldn't, so that, and there is no age for that. As a woman, if right now, if I say that, oh, I wanted to do this while I was a child, I can still do that. So it's just that you need a willpower. You need to make sure that you are ready to fight against the society, you are ready to bring change in the society. Once you bring this mindset, you would be able to do whatever you want to. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for your thought-provoking insights and highlight, how education empowers women and girls to challenge stereotypes and inspire the next generation. What you have mentioned is very true. So, Ms. Rahman, I have like a question to ask from you. It's like, In what ways can educational institutions design programs to foster leadership and and confidence among young women? Because I think when it comes to the educational institutions are also playing a vital role in this whole scenario. So, what are your thoughts on this? How they can, design programs to foster leadership and confidence among young women?
So I would say that this is actually a really good question, and I always say that your home is also an institution for you. So what happens is that you must have noticed that in our household, what happens is that we always say that you cannot go out alone. Take your brother with you. Oh, is it necessary to go to this university? It's really far from your home. How are you going to manage? Do you really want to go abroad for higher studies? So we always snub our women, right? And because I know parents are protective, and they have other thoughts coming in as well, but this is where the leadership comes in. If you are allowing your daughter to to take her own decisions, if you are giving her freedom, do not cut her wings. If you are allowing her to do whatever she wants, from there she develops a sense of leadership in her. Oh, that she's like, oh, okay, I can do these things on my own, right? And then when she starts going to school, and then she can also allow your daughters to ask questions. What mostly we do is that whenever not just a woman, even as a male, if somebody is asking a question, we are always like, oh, you are not supposed to ask this, or why are you asking this question? So we are actually limiting our children not to ask question, and then they follow whatever is going on in the society. So this is the mindset which needs to be changed. And as an institution, in universities and even at corporate organizations, it's really very important that we start inviting women to actually we give them equal opportunities. And there are a lot of, even still, I when I go through LinkedIn, or there are still job positions which mention that only males can apply, because and then when you ask them that, oh, actually it's a night shift job, so most women are not comfortable. Why are you actually saying this? Give them equal opportunity. How do you know that a woman might not be? I have done night shift jobs throughout my life. I was very comfortable doing it. So there might be other women who can actually they want to challenge themselves, and they want to go out, and they can do that. There are a lot of, now we have women who are pilots, we have women who are architects, we have women who are actually they are soldiers, they are even present on the war zones. Then why are you limiting women, right? So as an it's really important for an educational institute to start giving women equal opportunities. Make sure that they are also invited to the special discussions, they are invited to important discussions. You do not say that, oh, you don't know these things, so you can keep quiet. Tell them that no, your insights and your decision is also going to be as important as the other male counterpart. Also at corporate level, I would say that whenever you are opening a position, make sure that a woman is also giving an equal opportunity to women as well to apply. Also make sure that you give them trainings, you involve them in different activities which actually provoke their thoughts, which help them to take decisions, which help them to come to a position where they have to take a decision, and they are leading a team. And then in this way you would be able to empower women, and they would be able to make better decisions as well.
Yeah, that's very true. Thank you so much. And I think you have already, covered up few insights on this question as well, but I would like to get a direct answer from you for this as well. So, how does education help women and girls break societal stereotypes? Because we know there are a lot, quite a lot. And how can you share example of such transformations?
Yeah. So, education is something that, if a woman, a girl, when she is born, right, and when she's growing up, so she's actually looking at a lot of things which are happening in her home, right? She might think that, this is not correct, but she won't be able to say anything because at that time she doesn't know whether she is actually saying it correctly or not. But when she starts going to school and she actually interacts with other people, she actually meets with people who are from different backgrounds, even, which I believe exchange programs are actually a really nice thing for that, that the students go to different regions and they interact with people, so they actually realize that, oh, okay, this is happening in other parts of the world and we need to do that as well. So this is where a woman, when she goes to school, she learns, oh, okay, my friend is doing this thing differently than what happens at my home. And I can share an example as well, that there was this girl and she started going to school and she said that, mama, my friend, she actually sits with her brother and she eats whatever he is eating, but you never give me whatever my brother eats. I never get to eat that. Why is that? So she starts questioning and then she starts breaking those society. And her mom is like, no, 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 this is what happens in our home. And then she goes like, no, this is wrong. I also have two eyes. I also have two hands. I am like my brother. What is the difference between me and my brother? Why is he being treated differently? And why am I being treated differently? So then when you start, asking questions, and then, a day comes where you are like, no, you are able to say no. So education helps you to say no. You are only able to say no, and you are only able to draw a boundary when you actually learn something in a clear way. Then there is some person who is actually telling you that, okay, this can be done differently. So for setting boundaries, for saying no, it's where education is really very important. Once you start getting that thing in your head that this is something wrong and I need to, change that, where education comes in, that you actually, see your experiences, you see how people are doing things differently, you would be able to do that. So there are different societal barriers, which I would say for women, that most of the time there are women who want to pursue PhD, for example, and they cannot, just because they got married. So now they have responsibility of family and they have to raise children. And but what if, they get a little support, that, oh, okay, you are going out for study, I can keep children as well, or we can hire someone who can take care of our children, and then you can go out and fulfill your dreams. So this is something which is really important. And I know people around me who have actually pursued their higher studies, who have been working in different fields, who are doctors basically, and they just did it with some support. So I think they got the education, they knew that they wanted to do this, they took firm decisions on that, they were able to say no, they became mentally and emotionally strong, that even when they were getting opposed by their own families, they took a stand for themselves. And this is where education helped them. This is where education told them that, no, it's okay to be a little bit selfish, it's okay for to take a stand for yourself. And then they were able to take stand for other people as well. Now their daughters are empowered, now they know that, oh, mom did it, I can do it as well. So this is how education helps you, that one person can do it, I can do it as well. You can say no, you can set a boundary, you can take your decisions, you are mentally and emotionally strong just because you know how things happen in other parts of the world as well. So this is how it helps.
Yeah, that's true. And even though um, we talk that the education will empower the women's and the girls, but there are certain things that even now in this society we feel that whether it's in your home front, or whether it's with your friends, or especially in your offices, that you feel like that you will be not given the opportunities that you deserve, because
Yeah.
the reason being you are a woman or a girl. So when it comes to the families and communities, so what role do they play in supporting educational empowerment of women and girls? What is your thoughts on that?
So I believe it's really important as a community. First of all, you need to understand that a woman can do what a man can do as well. So if we can give birth, and if we can bring another human in this world, obviously then we there are a lot of other things which we can do as well. So this is where a person needs to understand that sometimes it does happen that there are other responsibilities where a woman needs to be present. For example, if you have a child who is sick, so obviously, as a mother, if I am a mother, my first priority is going to be my child, that I have to be present for him. So over here now, what as a community you can do is that, yes, you what you can do is that you can make it easier for her. you know Stop making women feel guilty about it, that, oh, we had a very important meeting, and then because your child was sick and you had to be there for him, so because you missed that. There can be a replacement as well. You can always create a backup plan for as well, that, maybe if she's not present, someone else can take a lead and then lead that meeting, and still she can come back and resume from that. So as a society and as a community, it is really very important that you actually create easiness for that, for a woman, that she can actually play a role in her family as well. She can do work as well. And most of the time, what I have heard from people is that, oh, but we don't want our women to work because then the homes get neglected. This is where your support comes in, that, if she is working, you can make sure that at home, you can hire, maybe you can hire a maid. And you can there can be, the in-laws can help a person, the women's family can help us. So as a community, it is really important that you take a stand for the person who is actually trying to get her dreams fulfilled, a person who actually got education. And most of the time what happens is that even women, they get professional degrees, they become doctors, and they still cannot pursue their profession, just because they have responsibilities at home and they have to be present there as well. So it's very important that as a community, you are creating a society where there is no guilt for a woman to pursuing her profession to fulfill her dreams. And secondly, you are actually creating a support system for her as well, where she can rely on that support system. So that is how we can create a society, or we can create a community which is supportive towards women, which is not actually dragging them in guilt. And that's how we would be able to help them to pursue their dreams, and then they would be able to get themselves empowered as well.
Yeah, that's true. I think there are instances that even though those opportunities were given to women and girls, the the way they have brought up, naturally let them think that the having that guilty feeling in them, sometimes to in pursuing their dreams with regard to education, they always have that guilty feeling that they, I mean, as women, as a nature, they think that no, this is our part. So
Absolutely. And most of the time, what happens is, like, for example, even after becoming a mom, then when you are leaving your child behind, most of the time people are like, oh my God, she has a child and she is leaving him or her behind. And how can you, as a mom, do this? And your child needs you. This is the mindset which needs to be changed. And I think education plays a really important role in changing your mindset. Once you actually go and interact with people, and you read, and you are getting the education which is needed, it helps you to transform your mindset as well. You start thinking differently, so thinking can only be changed. And so that is why it is actually more important for women to go and get the education, so that their mindset can be changed. And when they are raising their generation, so they can change their mindsets, and we actually make a very inclusive society where women and men and everyone is actually treated equally.
very true. So my next question is like, how does empowering women and girls through education contribute to creating a more inclusive and equitable society, not only for this generation but for future generations?
So again, when women, they are actually, when they are getting the education and they're coming into workforce, and they are actually pursuing different degrees and different, they are coming into different professions. So it is actually helping uh, to transform as a society as well. When a woman comes into a workforce, she actually brings up different ideas. She's bringing gender diversity into the workforce as well. I'm really happy to see that now forces are actually, there are places where transgenders are getting hired as well. So that's um, a really great part towards an inclusive society as well. So what is happening is that when a woman gets education, and when she is educated, she comes into the workforce, she starts giving her ideas, and so there is now an acceptance coming in that, oh, okay, so she can give her idea as well, she can take a decision as well. When women are actually, getting something, doing something out of the box and thinking something out of the box, and they are coming up with different ideas, so that is where actually an acceptance and we are creating an accepting and tolerant society which is more tolerant now. And now I think it's just the beginning, and with other generations coming in, still we have to do a lot of work, because still there are societies where women are not getting the opportunities, even though they are educated, but they are not still coming into the workforce, they are leaving their professions behind, they have to deal with a lot of stuff. And still we hear about cases of domestic abuse, we still hear cases where uh, women had to go through something and they were all alone, and still they cannot go out. So I think there is still a long way to go, but through education, we by providing education to women, to our males as well, we are trying to create an accepting and tolerant society. And once that is done, I think then there is going to be inclusivity. And as I mentioned, that now we have started bringing transgenders into the workforce as well, so it's, I think, a very good part on which we are doing to create a inclusive society.
Yeah, that's very true. So when it comes to education, we there is one more topic that we have to talk about, and that is policies or initiatives. So what policies or initiatives that you have seen or implemented that effectively address the barriers to education for women and girls?
So, in my region, I have actually seen that, where there are universities which have actually, reserved seats for women, for them to, in order to get them enrolled into programs. And even if we see that there are universities which are actually offering scholarships to women as well, that they come and they get enrolled, and especially women who belong to remote areas, they can always get better opportunities in cities where there are universities which are offering them programs like that. Also, if I talk about workforce, so if at the government level, what government has been doing is that they are actually offering reserved seats to the women in politics. Even they are offering them reserved seats. And as I mentioned, that in Pakistan, there was this female prime minister as well, Benazir Bhutto, and she was the first female prime minister. And now we do have separate seats for women in our assemblies as well. So I think if women will come into the leadership roles, and they, because they understand better what the struggles of women are, once they will start coming into leadership role, they are obviously going to come up with policies, they are going to come up with reforms, they are going to come up with different kind of programs for women, where they would feel safe. We have been, there are initiatives for women shelter homes as well. And there are initiatives where that, the girls who are actually not able to afford education for themselves, so the government is paying for them. So there are different initiatives which are been taken, but I believe that still we need to create awareness among people as well, that because there are still families which actually have a lot of money, but they do not spend towards the education of their girls, because they think that, that what at the end of the day they are going to get married and they are going to live with somebody else, so why there is a need to invest on that. There is still a need to invest on them, because those women are actually going to raise your children. If they are not educated, how do you think that they are going to raise children in a better way? Even if they're not, I always say that, okay, fine, you say that you do not want a woman to work, it's okay, still she has to get education, because if she is not educated, she would not be able to raise her children in a better way. I know that as an educated mother, you would be able to help your child to grow and become a better human being, you would be able to help him in a lot of other ways as well. There exists, we say that, there exists a gap between a mother and a child, only because sometimes children think that, oh, I do you think I would be able to discuss this with my mother, would she be able to understand? But if a mother is educated, a child would also feel confident that I can always go to my mother and talk about anything, because she has also ideas about what is going on in the world. So it's very important for a mother to be educated. And the initiatives needs to be taken that where you provide at least education till high school, that can be free of cost, right? This is how you can provide free education to women. That is how more and more women are going to go to the schools. You can provide them free books. And moreover, if I think one more thing which is really very important to talk about over here is that women go through different hormonal and body changes, and sometimes they are actually going through something. And so it's very important that we create safer places for them, that we provide them, we provide them sanitary products, which are those needs to be readily available. That is one thing which needs to be done, because that is something still now in these days, and we are in 2025, and still there are women who do not have access to sanitary products. And this is stopping them from getting the education they need, because sometimes they are like, we do not have that, how can we go out, how can we go to the school, the people are going to look at it. So I think it's really important for schools, for universities, for workplaces to provide sanitary products for females. It's very important.
Yeah, that's actually a kind of a valid point as well. So there is one more thing that I would like to know your thoughts on it. So there are another two things that we cannot forget when it's about the education. So how can technology and digital literacy enhance access to education for women and girls, especially in underserved areas?
So it's something which now the digital, it's a digital era. Everybody is talking about digitization and everything. So now with access to internet, I think now, and with I would really like to talk about YouTube as well, because a lot of free courses and a lot of videos and things are available. So it's really important that we are directing our women towards right resources, so they can watch videos, and they can scroll through social media, and they can get, for example, if I am interested in candle making, there are women who are actually making candles, and they are selling, and they are actually making a lot of money from that. So there are videos and there are resources available online as well. So in the underserved area, for example, if there are no schools available, still everyone has a smartphone these days. Every other person has a smartphone, and they have access to internet, so they can always, you can we can actually create awareness among those people, that direct your time towards things which actually matter. So instead of just scrolling social media and wasting your time and just watching videos which are actually of no use, you actually watch videos which are creating some kind of, which are giving you some skills, so you can learn a lot of things online. And I have seen women who actually mentioned that, we watched a video and we created this. There are chefs who have actually, learned how to cook using these social media avenues. And so there are a lot of stuff there is a lot of things available. It's just that, again, as an empowered woman, as a woman who knows what is important, you can guide those women and you can tell them about the resources. Because if there is no one to guide them, if there is no one to tell them, how would they know? So you need to create an awareness. You need to tell them that, oh, okay, you can go over here, you can look for this, and this is going to help you in your future as well. So this is how I think it's social media and digital era. In the digital era, you can help women who are actually in remote areas, or who do not have access to a lot of things, who cannot go to school, but they do have a phone. They can always watch something on that. Even I would say that, even not just social media, our other media can also help on that, by running ads, by doing digital campaigns, by making sure that we do campaigns where we are telling about other societal issues or concerns. So we can do these things as well, that we can run campaigns for digital literacy as well, that for them to understand how things work, or what is important for them, what they need to learn, or what are the skills which are important for them to succeed. And I think it's going to help them a lot in future as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for I would like to ask my final question from you. So, what are your thoughts on the strategies that can be employed to ensure that educational empowerment translate into economic and social empowerment for women? So,
I
are
think
there any?
yes. So I think it's really important. What currently we are doing is that we actually focus a lot on theory. We are letting our children that, memorize this and memorize that, but we are not giving them practical skills. Even when I graduated from university, I did not know what Excel was. I did not know that, oh, okay, there is this PowerPoint thing exists as well. And when I sat in first interview and then that person asked me that, how to work on Excel, and I'm like, I am a beginner. And then he asked me about the formulas that do you know about these formulas? And I'm like, no, I don't. And I was a graduate at that time. And after that, I realized that you need to have practical skills for that. So unless you do have a degree but you do not have a practical skill, or you do not have anything to vouch for that, you won't be able to earn anything. And so it's really important that with your degrees, you are actually gaining some practical experience as well. You are, transforming you are getting some skills. So these days, like, you are learning a skill, like maybe like candle making, you are doing crochet, you are learning graphic designing, you are doing copywriting. So the skills needs to be developed. And only when you have skills, you would be able. And then with skills, it is also important that you learn how to utilize those skills. So, and there are a lot of women I know who have a lot of skills, but they do not know where to use those skills. They do not know how can they actually earn from those skills. And they are just doing, for example, we do have our grandparents. So my grandmother, she used to do a really good crochet work. And one time I said to her that, why don't you do that, and I'll put it on Instagram, and we can sell them out. And she's like, oh no, I don't want to, I just do it for my grandchildren. And I'm like, no, you can actually make a business out of it. And she's like, no, 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 but it's okay, it's okay. So still, women are hesitant. So you need to make them understand that, your hesitation is not going to take you anywhere. If you want to succeed and if you want to move forward, it's very important for you that, you are not reluctant of doing anything. You are not hesitant. If an opportunity is knocking on your door, take it. You can learn things with time. But if there is, even if somebody will come to me right now and say that, I have this plan, do you want to do this? And even if I would not know ABC of it, I would still say that yes, because I know that I'm going to learn something out of it. So always take the risk. I would say that be a risk taker. Always take the risk. And I know taking a risk is a privilege as well, which not everybody can take. But be a risk taker, be brave, be bold, take the risks, and then you can get anything you want in life, and you can learn everything with the passage of time. Just do it. Just start doing it. And we say that day one or one day. So make sure this is day one and you are doing something for your own.
Excellent. That was the timely explanation. Thank you so much. So, on behalf of everyone, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to Ms. Rahman for sharing such valuable insights today, especially because you are joining with us today all the way from Pakistan. We are truly honored, and we really appreciate all your efforts. So, a heartfelt thank goes to our audience for their active participation. Lastly, I would like to thank our coordinators for their hard work in organizing this kind of webinar series throughout all these years, because their efforts behind the scenes, that is the thing that made this session possible and impactful. So thank you everyone for joining us today and through our YouTube live, and thereafter watching our YouTube channel. So this brings our live session to a close in a few minutes.